As so many of you have suggested in the comments, well, it seems that the FBI has, let's say, deep state problem. As in, well, I think, this is my personal opinion, I think that Kash Patel is doing as best as he can. I think that he's one of the good guys, but I think that he underestimated the amount of work that purging and cleaning up the FBI was going to take. And we saw this in this hearing at Congress, in which this, let's say, deep FBI project targeting conservatives, including not only President Trump, but also Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's initiative, it is being exposed, and we also see the inconsistencies that have happened since Charlie Kirk was shot. I'm going to play this clip first. This is important to understand the context. Senator Chuck Grassley announces a whistleblower has exposed the program Arctic Frost for targeting 92 Republican groups, Charlie Kirk's TPUSA among them. We knew about this since, I think, January of this year, but this is better explained. Let's listen to the senator.
Well, it's well understood that your predecessor left you an FBI infected with politics. I'm going to provide examples of that today, including making public new whistleblower records. At your nomination hearing, I made public records that whistleblowers provide me about Arctic Frost. Arctic Frost was the FBI case opened and approved by antitrust Trump FBI agent Thibault. Arctic Frost then became Jack Smith's elector case against then citizen Trump and now President Trump.
So we see this scheme to be weaponized against, well, you know, enemies of the previous administration. Now, as I exposed on a previous video that even the Secret Service could be, let's say, infiltrated or was infected with elements that could even cheer publicly for, oh, it was nice that Charlie Kirk was shot. How many of them that we do not know of are in there? You know, the bottom of the iceberg, the Manchurian candidates. How can we know that it has actually been purged? How do we know these people are really loyal to the United States? So many questions, and the FBI under Kash Patel already has some issues. We know that there were reports that FBI agents concealed a photo of Kirk murder suspect from Director Patel for 12 hours. For 12 hours, the photo of the suspect was concealed from Patel. Why? My guess is that there are still issues inside the FBI, and Patel has been trying to purge whatever is in the agency, but right now, I don't know. It's I think it's still a long road to go.
These new records show that Arctic Frost was much broader than just an electoral matter. The case was expanded to Republican organizations. Some examples of the group that Ray FBI sought to place under political investigation included the Republican National Committee, Republican Attorney Generals Association, and various Trump political groups. In total, 92 Republican targets, including
92
Republican groups and Republican-linked individuals, were placed under investigative scope of Arctic Frost. On that political list was one of Charlie Kirk's groups, Turning Point USA.
So what is the problem with Kash Patel? Kash Patel is in a huge dilemma right now because he knows that he has to, well, you know, be up to the task. But he also knows that he, I don't know, how does he trust the people working for him? You remember that press conference that they gave, the one that was delayed. I think it was the same day Charlie Kirk was shot. If I remember correctly, maybe my memory is failing me, But we saw Patel that was like a deer in headlights. He was completely lost, and he never said a word on that press conference. It was really odd to see him like that, completely like clueless. And after that blunder, that a photo was basically detained is not the word. It was concealed from him for 12 hours. He went on this rant. The blunder led Patel to instigate a blistering conference call with over 200 FBI personnel Thursday morning, warning his agents that he would no longer tolerate any more Mickey Mouse operations. My question is, why are these Mickey Mouse operations happening in the first place? So you see that the senator was exposing this Arctic Frost scheme from many months ago, when we have newest developments that they were targeting organizations like Turning Point, and they could have been targeting Charlie Kirk himself. How do we know that that's still not going on right now inside the FBI, in some kind of, I don't know, deep layer of the FBI? How can we be sure of this? We know that thanks to that blunder of information, and Patel gave that update on Twitter. The subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody, and then he retracted it the following day. That was absolutely horrendous. Not to mention the bad optics that the same day that Charlie Kirk was shot, on September 10, that night at I think that's 6:21 p.m. ET, that Kash Patel was at a fancy New York City restaurant. I mean, many people have reached out to me saying, well, the guy has to eat. But I'm going to tell you something. That day and the day after that, I am not in the FBI, and certainly not the FBI director. And I was working my ass off like overtime from the moment that we found out that Charlie Kirk was shot. So yes, he could have been using a phone, but why wasn't he like instantly moving to Utah? Like that was everybody knew instantly that this was literally, I will have to say the words, a turning point. Something broke in America at that moment. So these optics are extremely bad, and there's a lot of scrutiny on the FBI because of this. And not to mention, that is not the only pressure that Patel is facing. Just hours before the incident, Patel was hit with an explosive federal lawsuit accusing him of orchestrating a politically motivated purge of the Bureau's leadership. The three plaintiffs in the case, a former acting FBI director and two other former FBI leaders, alleged that Patel and other allies of Trump ousted them after their refusal to carry out political errands. In a remarkable foreshadowing, they say that that Patel and Bongino are more concerned about social media than the actual job. I don't think that is the case. In fact, they have been really lousy when they appear in interviews. So I was one of the ones to suggest that they better not give that many interviews and just focus on the job that is dangerous enough. And we have seen Bongino as well. And Bongino also has that, that look of having seen things. And by the way, the purging started long ago, and the FBI leader of Salt Lake City, called Mehtab Syed, is a woman that so many people on social media said, oh, she was great for the job. He was the right stuff for the job. How come Kash Patel fired her? How convenient that Kash Patel fired her from the FBI Utah right before Charlie Kirk was shot. How suspicious. And well, in defense of Patel, I am no friend of Kash Patel. I am no friend of Kash Patel, but in defense of him, many people were saying that this was allegedly, their words, not mine, a DEI hire, that her resume was inflated. And well, I'm going to just point out, this is an ad pushed by FBI Utah under her administration. And well, I'm going to just I'm gonna just play this,
whatever reason,
maybe in twice the speed.
if you or someone you know gets threats of intimidation, it's important that you report it. We take every complaint seriously. Call us at 801-579-1400 or 1-800-CALL-FBI. In an effort to continue expanding our outreach and strengthening relationships with our diverse communities, FBI Salt Lake City will be releasing this message in several languages. Just know we're here to serve you.
Yeah, more the diversity. So was Kash Patel right of firing her or not? Maybe. It seems like yes, diversity. We don't care the 7 languages. Just do your job. Or well, she had the opportunity to do her job. Not anymore. There are also reports of that her resume was a bit inflated, and that this picture was also concerning. Raw egg nationalist. If you want to understand why the FBI apparently hid details about Tyler Robinson's transgender lover from Kash Patel, study this picture and, well, this, boy, this is not exactly, how to say this. Clarice Starling was from the FBI, right? Yeah, it was from the Clarice. This is not Clarice Starling material. It doesn't look like... I'm not gonna say much more about that. So again, I think I'm gonna give Kash Patel the benefit of the doubt. I think that he is one of the good guys. I think that he never imagined the amount of scrutiny that not only the challenge of the job itself, but all the things that came from the previous administration. And there was also a question that the same senator asked him about if he thought that Jeffrey Epstein was working with intelligence agencies from the United States or from other intelligence agencies. And he said, well, that's not something that I can answer. And that's actually not something that Kash Patel can answer directly, but he was going to try to help getting to the bottom of that. The problem is that how can you do your job if you don't know who to trust? That is a big question, right? And how do you know that those sleeper cells, those deep operatives are still operating in the shadows? That is a question that everybody should be asking. But again, I would love to know what do you think about this and other topics in the comments. Remember that I have merch. In case you're interested, I have my merch right there in the link or right below this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language Guy. Much love and bliss.